Good evening. I'm Jerry Gretzinger. Liz has the night off. We begin with a shocking turn of events today in Saratoga County Court. Dennis Drue pleading guilty to 58 charges against him. We also learned some more disturbing information. Drue was drunk, high, speeding, and texting on the Northway last December when he hit the car carrying 4 high schoolers, killing 2 of them. Brandon Lewis was in court, and he joins us in the studio with our top story. Brandon, this was going to trial on Monday.
It was, Jerry, and even now the DA is saying he was surprised to find out there's talk that Drue would change his plea last night. In this case, Drue avoids a trial and may get less time behind bars than he would have if he faced a jury. Soon after he pleaded guilty, District Attorney Jim Murphy laid out all the evidence they were prepared to present next week.
Dennis Drue wouldn't talk to the media after pleading guilty to 52 felonies and 6 lesser violations. But in court, he admitted his actions led to the deaths of Shen students Deanna Rivers and Chris Stewart.
Unlike most cases, this case had actually gotten stronger as we had proceeded through the investigation. And
Saratoga County District Attorney Jim Murphy spoke to the media right after court. He says witnesses were prepared to testify they saw Drue drunk at a restaurant just before the crash, saying he had 4 shots, gin and tonic, and beer. Drue admits he was also high on marijuana.
They walked up to the man he was sitting with and said, "Are you his designated driver? We're worried about this man."
The crash scene was extremely complex. Drue denied speeding, but investigators said he was doing more than 80 miles an hour. They also removed a recording chip from his car.
We shipped it back to Sweden in order to have the Volvo experts analyze that chip, and they also gave us information that supports the 80 miles per hour.
Drue told investigators they wouldn't be able to prove he was texting, but the DA's office found multiple cell phone records showing otherwise. Drue's attorney, Steve Coffey, tried getting the trial moved elsewhere, saying the jury wouldn't be impartial, but the judge denied it. Even Coffey admits the case was an uphill battle.
It would have been very difficult for him to have been acquitted on all of these charges here, and he knows that, and that's why he took the plea.
But the DA's office says it wasn't quite a deal, and they aren't happy. The judge says he will likely serve 5 to 15 years behind bars, a maximum of less than 4 months for each charge.
We're not satisfied with that we would like more time, and that we intend fully to ask the judge at the time of sentencing, along with the family members, that we would like to have more time.
Now, the family of all the teens were in court but didn't want to speak to us afterwards. They wanted to wait until trial on December 5th. Now, as we've said, there were some strange circumstances surrounding the plea deal, and we'll talk about that from reaction with the DA and from the defense perspective coming up at 6, Jerry.
And I just want to mention, you just said plea deal, but this was a plea. He pled guilty.
He changed his plea, correct.
Right, so it wasn't necessarily a deal. You know, we talked, too, about the 5 to 15 years. That was something that the judge had thrown out a while back, and the DA saying he'd like to get more time. Did he indicate what he might be looking for as far as a sentence?
He didn't. He didn't have an indication right now. This is all very new information, so he hasn't had a chance to process it. He's going to sit down with the families, come up with a number that he thinks is satisfactory, and then present that in December.
All right, December 5th, the sentencing, and I guess we'll wait for that.
Exactly.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much for your report.